Our first presenter is John. Some words about him. He graduated at Berkeley in California and spent many years at the Bristol Myers and Tripos as a consultant and senior consultant. And now he manages the JChem base and the web services project at ChemAxon. So, please, John.
Great. All right. Ooh, that sounds fantastic. Whew. Yes, that's right. I'm the project manager of web services and JChem base. What I'd like to tell you today is how can we interface to the JChem suite of tools outside of our original language, Java. It's originally written in Java many, many years ago, but we realized that in the world that we live in today, in the technology world that we live in today, there are many, many ways and many, many languages that you can use to write your applications. So, yes, I'll tell you a little bit about the different interfaces. What I want to go into is what are some of the factors that you have to consider when choosing which type of interface you want to use. Talk a little bit about SQL, .Net, Java Web Services, maybe give a little demo if we have time, and then also talk about the workflow tools. We've actually seen those, so I won't linger on that too long. This is also kind of a kickoff for the rest of the presentations that are coming up, because we have some great web service presentations that I'm very, very interested in seeing how they've used it. Okay, so up here you may recognize the product map. And what I want to mention is that, yes, this is your application. This is you want to be using the tools that JChem provides in either a current application that you have or even create a new application. The ways that you can do that: Java, directly using plain old Java objects, of course, or JSPs for your web application. SQL, the JChem Cartridge product, that's going to allow you to use the SQL language to be able to access all of the search functionalities, all of the different modules inside of JChem. The .NET language, that's a new language that we've supported. And web services, something that's dear to my heart because I've worked on that particular piece of the puzzle. And remember here that it's platform and programming language independent. Okay, so what are some of the factors that you and your organization might think about before venturing in and deciding, oh, let's lock into this particular interface? Well, one is, what's the strength of your organization? If your organization, like Skunkworks in the back, they love the Flex stuff. They thought, well, let's go and use the JChem suite of tools, but we don't want to write in Java. We don't want to write that, so we're going to use the web services. That's one way to choose the interface through your language strengths. Your data environment. What's the data that where's the data stored? For example, if you're a big pharma and you've got all your data stored in big Oracle databases, maybe the cartridge is probably the best bet there because of the speed and all of the advantages you get for Oracle, or with Oracle, I'm sorry. The end user environment, is it going to be a desktop client? Is it going to be a web browser? Is it going to be a thin client? Some of these things might point you to, say, IGC or web services if you're going to make something web accessible. The technical architecture. If you've got a service-oriented architecture across your enterprise, that might point to, well, let's look at how we can utilize the web services and as leveraged, have the effects of your service-oriented backbone or architecture and just get to reuse it and reuse the technology that you've already invested in. Also, if you've got, say, computational chemists that love the workflow tools, that's one example to use the workflow tools. So, JChem Cartridge. I talked a little bit about Oracle, but yes, the database advantages are scalability, security, the robustness of that language the platform that's been around for many, many years, and is widespread throughout the community. With JChem Cartridge, we've split it up to harness a separate JChem server to handle computer-intensive processes, while leaving the database-intensive processes to the Oracle database. So there you get the best of both worlds, and you get the speed and the performance of both. This, of course, supports SQL and most, or at least many of the JChem modules: searching, standardizer, reactor, chemical terms, calculator plugins. These are all supported by the JChem cartridge. Dotnet, again, about last year or 2 years ago, we've implemented a new native solution to be creating the DLLs instead of the jars. So this is a native solution. There's no license overhead. It's simple. It's fast. It's much better than the older solution that we had. And really, what does it give you? It gives you all of the non-GUI components, of course, as well as the Marvin sketch, Marvin view. Those type of applications are now available in the .NET world, whereas it used to be just the Java beans and the Java GUIs. All of the JChem Suite is available there, again, except for Cartridge and the Marvin bean classes, although that may have changed recently. Of course, .NET includes a whole bunch of different languages, but I'll just mention ASP, the C#, C++ stuff, as well as the VB.NET. And those you can access, so you use those to access the JChem Suite. In the most recent release, 5.3.3, we've got a great .NET API documentation. It's very easy to use and very visual. So that's a great addition to this interface. Oh yeah, here you can see in the bottom here that we've used the .NET interface for creating the JChem for Excel. So it's very exciting for us because we get to use our own technologies, as well as show you that yes, you can create new things with the APIs that we've already created, but in a completely different language. JChem Web Services. Here I want to mention, yes, we've got a lot of the standards of the industry here. WSI, that's any of the WS security things, addressing, any of the things that are accepted by the industry as something standard. We're using SOAP and, of course, WSDL, and those are both old standards now, I would say, that many people and many frameworks, language frameworks, completely handle. It's reusable and accessible to other services, so you can build on your own services using our services. These are web services talking to web services, applications talking to the web services. And the other great thing is, and I showed this during the development training yesterday, was that with the WSDL, you can create automatically the client stub. So as a developer, it makes your life a lot easier. Supports Web languages, Ajax and JavaScript, these are very actually now mature languages from the Web 2.0 explosion. But now they've got a lot of frameworks and a lot of community has built up around this to provide more things for you as, say, development managers to rest assured that this is a good solution for your team and for your customers. Perl, Python, Ruby. I think someone mentioned Ruby earlier, Ruby on Rails. Also very, very big and very explosive in today's world. These are scripting languages. These are all definitely web-centric or web-aware languages that can use SOAP and that can use the web services. Of course, the old standbys work as well, Java and C++, C#. Why use Java? There's probably not that big of a reason to use Java unless like I said, you've already got the service-oriented architecture and you want to, and you're comfortable writing Java applications that use SOAP, but you can still directly just use the APIs, the original APIs, just as fast. And it's a growing list of JChem modules. And we'll see that, I think, in the next, nope, not in the next slide. But there's a small list there, and we'll show it in a second. Yes, one thing I wanted to say is SOAP. It's a standard, so what does that mean? It means it unlocks everything. This scripting menagerie, Perl, Ruby, Python, script. Okay, I stole a couple of pictures that have animals on there, but the point is that there are a lot of languages that now we're not able to access JChem Suite of tools. Now you can, and you can see very simply that there are only a few lines that need to be run. I think we had examples that were 3 lines and 7 lines, or 5 lines yesterday that can run things. Here you've got we're running a log P on 2-butane, and that's as simple as it needs to be. And they all translate into the same SOAP messages. So that's why, yes, it's a standard, and we can handle the messages from all sorts of origins. A little architecture slide. I don't want to go into this too much, but basically we're using 2 open source softwares, Tomcat for our web application container, and Access 2 to handle the SOAP messages. This is why it's available to your enterprises to use at basically no cost. It also has a set of OSs that are being tested on, so not only can you run your client applications in whatever programming language and platforms, but you can also run the server in any platforms that you guys have. Okay, yes. So here's the list of services that we've got currently. A number of database-related services. These are key in a lot of applications. Anything to do with searching a database, managing the data that's in that database, doing relational data searching. That's searching on other tables like inventory tables or biological data tables that are just related to that structure table. Connection service. Molecular conversion, that's obviously a big building block in many applications because it's ubiquitous. People are needing it in a lot of applications. Standardization service. People were mentioning registration earlier. This is a big building block, or definitely a starting point for registration. Chemical terms evaluation service. Maybe you're making a virtual lead exploration application, and you need those properties for your new novel compounds or leads. In the reactor service, we saw that was actually being used. I think it was Evotex. Maybe it was Contour ELN. But yes, this is the chemically feasible products are getting created by that reactor service. The small list at the bottom is the future, and of course we're always ears our ears are open to hearing what you guys and what your clients want. But here we've got a SQL execution service that's send raw SQL over to your database, and we'll get whatever comes back and pass it to you. Molecule search, that's searching against a list of molecules that doesn't have to necessarily be in a database. Marcouche and R group decomposition. That's self-explanatory. It does Marcouche and R group decomposition. JChem table management and expanded batch processing. Okay, let's see if we've got access here. This is a simple Ajax, not a simple, but actually a fully functional. So 5 minutes? Okay. Application. But anyway, the things I wanted to say are these things come with the server download. So it's got a number of examples, just simple examples, but ready to go out of the box type of things. I just set this up over lunch, so. Okay, I don't have a screen here, but it's very easy to use. It's very fast. Let's see if I can. Although if you were at our headquarters yesterday, we were having some internet issues, but this is about 250,000 structures and hooked up basically a spreadsheet application. Something that may be good for folks that are just, you've got a database that you just set up, you want to do some browsing, you want to do some spreadsheet sorting and that sort of thing. It's here as well as querying. Let's see if we can open that. Here on this query box or query pane, we've got a Java applet of Marvin embedded in there, as well as well, okay, let's just draw something simple. Maybe okay, cyclohexane and I don't know. Let's throw sulfur on there. Oops. Okay, and then you can also see that yes, we've got all the search features that we talked about earlier today, and we will talk about in the future. But the different types of structure searches, the database field searches for dates and text and numeric fields. Those can all be done. And one little feature I love is called the generate URL button. And this is good for copy and pasting the URL to your colleagues or to your fellow scientists to check out, I've done this search and I found these great molecules. And okay, I'll submit it, of course. Oops, close. And then here we can say, okay, we've got a list of the molecules, and that will get sent. If you send that URL string, your scientists and your colleagues can see that right away without having to log in or do any of the extra legwork that we just did here. Okay, so that's a short demo of that. Last thing I want to say is workflow integration. We saw the last two presentations were about Pipeline Pilot and NIME, and these are great tools if the folks that are trying to create create the applications, understand the workflows. We've got Pipeline Pilot modules that we maintain. The Infocom folks maintain the NIME nodes, as well as InfoSense, which I think is currently with IDBS now. They also have nodes that run JChem Suite of tools. All right. Yes, find out more about JChem Cartridge. We've got a number of links, forums, posters, downloads. Dotnet as well, and JChem Web Services. Thank you for your attention.